It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm here with Shaq and the Jet. For tonight's game, we'll be watching the Boston Celtics as they go up against the Los Angeles Clippers. For Los Angeles, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. And with the All-Star game almost upon us, lots of fond memories, I'm thinking. Shaq, I mean, you're three-time MVP of this contest. Tell us about one of your favorite All-Star moments.
My first MVP I shared with the great Tim Duncan, a.k.a. Big Fundamentals, but I took the award from him. I said, hey, you already got one of those rings. I'm taking the trophy.
You know what? I hate to give you this kind of props, Shaq, but it really astounds me. You're one of only 3 players to win the All-Star Game MVP, the regular season MVP, and the Finals MVP all in the same year. Forget about a different time span. All in the same. That's an incredible feat, big man.
It's not incredible. Who's the other 2?
The other 2, I would probably say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would be one, and I would say Michael Jordan would be the second. And if they're not, I don't. You know, we'll find out.
They're logical guesses.
We'll have them by next. We'll have them by halftime.
Well,
we are live in Boston, Massachusetts, the gem of New England, as the Celtics are about to go into this interconference contest right here. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. You look at the Clippers. There's no question this game will put them to the test. Facing off against a team that has every expectation of beating them, they'll need to play a complete game to snare a win.
You know, for Los Angeles, they haven't made any of the strides they were hoping to see prior to the season. Again, hanging around at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, it's full makeover time now.
And here's Freak. He had 19 points in the win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. From the line, cannot hit. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
They just looked stable pretty much from the get-go, guys. I mean, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game that you don't see at home, but not the case in that one.
Tremendous balance on display, Greg. I mean, when you look at who was carrying the scoring load, making assists, playing unselfishly, I mean, they had it all working, and that led to the nice road win.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Boston leading by 5. Out left to the wing. Celtics passing it around. From deep. Can't get it to go.
You know, a team's rebounding is one of the great measures of its energy, and theirs has been terrific in the first quarter.
Yeah, they brought it in terms of having another level of intensity right from the tip.
The Clippers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
All right, now, take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. From deep three-point range, the shot no good.
And just because you can make it from outside doesn't mean you need to live there.
Not that far out anyway, Greg. I mean, he can work for a better shot than that.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Celtics lead by 4. And we'll be back. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away from a very successful tenure with the Butler.
The only hard part.
I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks Boston is stockpiling.
Well, I don't know how he would address that question.
That's all me.
And a pretty tight look.
Here we go, Boston. Now coming into the court.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the... And so it's Boston easily.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Isaiah Thomas. He notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
He flat out dominated. I mean, you see the kind of plays he was making. He wasn't going to be denied. His offensive power was in full effect.
This guy is experienced in the league, and he's got a crafty.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a
It's a special day for basketball fans. The All-Star Game, best of the East against best of the Western Conference. And we are proud to bring it to you right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. We've got a chance here to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And the West All-Stars looking at who they've got. Durant is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Russell Westbrook. Then there's Kawhi Leonard for the East.
And, you know, the fan voting is what determines the starters in the All-Star game. Then the coaches will decide on the reserves. But either way, whether you're picked by the fans or the coaches, earning the title NBA All-Star, that's an honor none of these players will ever forget.
Well, Greg, one thing we know for sure, you know that every player who earned a spot on this roster is going to see his share of action. Spreading the minutes evenly, as you've always talked about, is always a top priority for these All-Star Game coaches.
And you're so right, Kevin. I mean, for all the hard work these players put into to get here. I mean, each one deserves a chance, if you will, to share the spotlight. It's one of the great things about the All-Star game.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game. And fans and celebrities alike have descended on this town for All-Star Week. There's been a bunch of fun events going on all over the place.
And, Greg, it's like that every year. I mean, no matter what city is hosting, it becomes a mecca for everyone who wants to take in one of the greatest scenes in all of sports. Not only to watch the best players, but to be seen by the other stars in the crowd.
At the line for two.
Free throw good, James Harden.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
Yeah, not only the trips to the line are concerned, but the foul trouble also. You've got to play defense with your feet and do so without fouling.
And the foul called on Freak. And so that brings the first.
Get ready for your East All-Star Game.
And we return to so it's the West All-Stars.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith in the All-Star Game action now in the books. So let's take a look back at some of the footage from our All-Star Game MVP, DeMarcus Cousins. And in what seems like the same old for him, he scored yet another double-double. Talk about Mr. Dependable. This guy had it going.
He shot over 50% from the field in the game, a testament to how hard he worked to always find the best look possible. He was in constant motion. He found those gaps in the D and made the most of his open looks.
Well, he had fun out there. He also didn't shy away from putting on that flash and pizzazz to make the highlights. I thought he gave the fans a gutsy performance. All the celebrities stopped looking at me and started waving at him. He had a couple of good candidates, but he deserved it.
And that'll do it for this year's All-Star Game. Some splendid talent on display tonight. For Shaquille O'Neal and for Kenny the Jet Smith and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again to start up the NBA's second half of the season.
2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA. We're joined by the legends, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Sacramento. They lost their first matchup against these guys.